like you. Be strong to hold the powers of the sun. To dream, believe in strength. Now I'm the only one.
Think you've seen everything from Jimin's legendary Paris Fashion Week? Think again. What if I told you there are hidden moments, untold stories, and exclusive glimpses from his journey that no one has shared until now? Prepare to see a side of Jimin in Paris you simply haven't seen before. Forget the red carpet. We're taking you beyond the headlines and into the real Paris Fashion Week experience with Jimin. Get ready for an exclusive peek at the unseen moments, the genuine reactions, and the behind-the-scenes magic that truly defined his iconic time in the City of Lights. You won't find these revelations anywhere else. What really happened during Jimin's Paris Fashion Week journey that the cameras missed? This isn't just another recap, it's an unveiling. We've unearthed the truly unshared moments, the genuine interactions, and the subtle details that painted a complete picture of his unforgettable trip. Prepare to have your perspective completely transformed. One evening, after a full day of appearances and interviews, Jimin's team shared a moment that revealed much about his character. When everyone else rushed to leave the venue, exhausted and eager for rest, Jimin stayed behind. He insisted on personally thanking the local staff, the makeup artists, photographers, and assistants who had worked tirelessly behind the scenes. "Merci beaucoup," he said softly, bowing slightly to each of them. It wasn't performative. It was genuine, almost instinctive. Those who witnessed it later said it was the kind of small kindness that people never forget. Later that night, the air in Paris grew cooler. The moon hung over the city like a glowing ornament, and Jimin, wrapped in a simple coat and cap, walked along the dimly lit streets near his hotel. There were no flashing lights, no frenzy of fans, just the distant hum of traffic and the sound of his footsteps on the cobblestones. He stopped near a flower shop closing for the evening, drawn by the faint scent of lavender. The florist, an older woman unaware of his global fame, greeted him warmly and offered a single bloom. Jimin accepted it with both hands, smiled, and thanked her in soft French. To her, he was just a kind young man passing through Paris. To him, it was a rare moment of normalcy, a fleeting breath of simplicity amid the intensity of his world. The next morning brought another show, another flash of cameras, another roar of the crowd. Yet Jimin carried himself with the same calm poise, his smile unchanged, his focus unshaken. Backstage, as chaos unfolded around him, he quietly rehearsed his posture, adjusted his jacket, and took a slow breath before stepping into the spotlight again. The way he navigated that world, both as an idol and as a person, became a lesson in grace under pressure. Even when the flashes blinded and the voices called his name in every direction, his eyes carried something deeper, peace. One particularly memorable moment happened when he reunited with an old acquaintance from the fashion world, a designer who had met him years before during his early collaborations with Dior. The designer shared how deeply moved they were by Jimin's growth, not only as an artist but as a person. "He hasn't changed," they said. "He's just become more himself." That sentiment echoed through the entire event, that beneath the fame and refinement, Jimin remained untouched at his core, the same kind-hearted soul who treated everyone as an equal. After the show, as Parisian night once again blanketed the city, Jimin found himself on a hotel balcony overlooking the glittering skyline. The Eiffel Tower shimmered in the distance, its lights flickering against the dark blue sky. He leaned against the railing, phone in hand, scrolling through fan messages filled with love and admiration. He read slowly, occasionally smiling, occasionally pausing, as if absorbing every word. Those who saw him from afar said he looked peaceful, not overwhelmed by fame, but quietly grateful for it. In that solitude, surrounded by the vastness of the city, Jimin seemed to reflect on how far he had come, and perhaps how much further he wished to go. Paris, in many ways, mirrored Jimin himself, elegant on the surface, yet full of hidden corners, soft lights, and quiet strength. The city embraced him, and he, in return, moved through it like a whisper of art. When he attended the final event of his trip, there was a certain glow about him, something beyond fashion or fame. His outfit was immaculate, of course, Dior's signature sophistication blending seamlessly with his own natural elegance, but it was his energy that drew everyone in. Wherever he went, people turned not just to look at him, but to feel him. When the final night arrived and his Paris Fashion Week came to a close, Jimin's schedule should have taken him straight to the airport. But instead, before leaving for Seoul, he requested a short detour, a quiet drive through the city. As his car moved slowly past familiar streets, he looked out the window, watching as the lights blurred into streaks of gold. His team stayed silent, giving him that moment to himself. He passed by the Seine one last time, saw a group of fans still waiting by the riverside even in the late hour, waving purple banners and tiny lights. He smiled faintly, pressed his hand gently against the glass, and whispered a soft, almost inaudible thank you. That was Jimin's Paris. Not the one captured in press releases or front-page photos, but the one lived in quiet sincerity, in gestures, glances, and unspoken gratitude. The unseen moments were where the real story existed, the polite bow to a stranger, the laughter shared behind closed doors, the moments of stillness between the storms of applause. When the plane finally took off from Charles de Gaulle Airport, Paris faded beneath him, the city of lights shimmering like a constellation. Jimin leaned back in his seat, earbuds in, eyes closed, a faint smile still resting on his lips. Perhaps he was replaying the week in his mind, or perhaps he was simply resting, at peace with all that had unfolded. The cameras had stopped rolling, but for those who truly understood him, that was when the most beautiful part of the story began. Because what made Jimin's Paris Fashion Week so unforgettable wasn't the glamour, the outfits, or the headlines. It was the humanity behind it all. It was how he carried his fame with gentleness, how he turned fleeting moments into lasting memories, and how, even in a world obsessed with perfection, he reminded everyone that sincerity is the most timeless form of beauty. And so, as the city lights disappeared into the clouds, one truth remained clear: Jimin didn't just attend Paris Fashion Week. He transformed it. Not by changing what was seen, but by revealing what had always been unseen: the quiet grace, the unspoken warmth, and the kind of authenticity that leaves the world breathless long after he's gone.
Like you, be strong to hold the powers of the sun.